Algiers Supreme Court postponed the trial of the scandalous East-West Highway case until May. Industry Minister Abdeslam Bouchouareb started a working visit to Italy aimed at bolstering bilateral cooperation. In football news, Algeria is set to take on Qatar in a friendly match tomorrow. Those were today's top stories. Thanks for joining us live on Dzair News channel. And as previously mentioned in the headlines, the scandalous East-West Highway trial that took place in the Criminal Court of Algiers was postponed due to the absence of the main suspect along with his lawyer because of what it believes to be that he was not granted the Algerian visa. The other suspects, including the former Secretary General of the Ministry of Public Works, Mohamed Bouchama, were present, as well as 7 representatives of foreign companies. The trial is set to resume in May 2015. In Ain Salah, protests came back to the scene last night, where dozens of protesters took to the streets upon learning that new drilling rigs entered the shale gas drilling site just 3 days after the operation was put to rest. These latest updates brought to the city back to the long-lasting tensions atmosphere. Hinterman Aras gathered us the full story for us.
The news of shale gas drilling wells, machinery and trucks became the talk of the town in Ain Saleh. In light of the latest updates, residents go about their lives in a scene where life seems to be all about the shale gas issue and no other. The latest updates were witnessed in Ain Saleh last night, where dozens of protesters took to the streets, having learned that new hydraulic breakers were to enter the site. Just 3 days following the departure of trucks of the company in charge of drilling in the region, which stirred fears amongst them, thus hinting that the crisis may have its comeback. These developments come after the city has witnessed in the last few days a relative suspicious calm, following Bouteflika's letter on the occasion of Victory Day, through which he summoned the region's residents to be cautious and favored the national interest to overcome this long-lasting crisis that casts its shadows on the simple lives of Ain Saleh residents. Within this political issue, some experts and specialists bring to the attention other aspects, no less dangerous than the shale gas crisis, that may have significant implication on the psychological balance and hence social stability of the citizens, repercussions and wounds that may take time to heal.
To another matter now, the recent heavy rainfall that hit the northern territories, notably the eastern part of the country, caused considerable amount of material losses. The province of Beskirar, for instance, had its fair share of damage, where 3 people have been injured following the collapse of 4 houses in the municipality of Shetma. Hintzman Aras has the full story.
48 hours of rainfall were enough to debunk the catastrophes that followed, injured in most of the country's towns and cities, disrupted roads and damaged houses, along with deadly road accidents. Major traffic disruption was witnessed in the capital, Algiers, after the recent heavy rainfalls. The tramway service was also paralyzed in Samizan station. The province of Beskirar had its fair share of damages. 3 people have been injured following the collapse of 4 houses in the municipality of Shetma. The unfortunate province of Tremors wasn't spared either. Its citizens spent a terrorizing night after whole neighborhoods drowned in the regions of Atul, Azran and Tit. In the province of Constantine, preparations for the upcoming capital of Arab culture event halted after the recent floods and cold waves. In Khanshla, a touristic vehicle fell off a cliff after a recent landslide, leaving 9 people injured. In the western province of Sidi Bel Abbas, heavy rainfall caused 6 accidents that left 6 people injured. Statistics shown over and over again, leaving Algerians to face the negligence and irresponsibility, urging the authorities to intervene as soon as possible.
In our economy-related news, the Minister of Industry and Mines, Abdeslam Bouchouareb, started a working visit to Italy on Wednesday, accompanied by a large business delegation led by the FCE President Ali Haddad. According to the Minister, the automotive sector and food processing are the main sectors of activity to sign partnership deals with their Italian counterparts, and in which a catalogue of joint ventures, including 38 projects, are under development. Lamia Ashoush has the full story.
The Minister of Industry and Mining, Abdeslam Bouchouareb, started a 3-day visit to Italy today, Wednesday, intended to boost economic partnership between Algeria and the European Union.
I'm here in Italy with a strong delegation composed of businessmen from both the public and private sectors. We aim to strengthen our economic ties with Italy.
Bouchouareb is accompanied by a delegation made up of officials from his department, business managers, and the president of the Heads of Enterprises Forum, FCE, businessman Ali Haddad, who revealed major projects with Italian firms.
I've been a partner with Italian enterprises for 16-17 years, and we have established so many things in Algeria. We are negotiating big contracts with Italian firms. We are talking with a major Italian car manufacturer to come to Algeria and manufacture 80,000 to 100 units per year.
The minister on several occasions expressed Algeria's will to increase Algerian-Italian industrial cooperation projects through mutually beneficial partnerships, including the SMEs of both countries.
We are preparing for the higher summit that will be conducted by Prime Minister Abdelmalek Sallal late May, which will further evaluate the situation to move further with other projects. Our trade with Italy has somewhat decreased lately, so we need to strengthen it.
Algeria's economic approach is mainly based on investment in the industrial projects that are likely to contribute to diversifying national economy. The move is due to lead to a cut in the soaring imports while oil prices are plummeting.
In another story now, despite receiving reassurances from experts which are based on studies and facts, the local residents of the eastern province of Batna are living in a state of fear and depression due to the recurring tremors in the region. Usama Snosi has the full story.
After the tremor that hit Ras Layoun municipality in the eastern province of Batna, people today live in the streets out of fear of another tremor, calling for the authorities to better their situation. We're living in the bus station. People are living out of their homes until 3 or 4 in the morning. There are some people who don't sleep and others who are staying in their cars. You can see our living conditions, fear and homelessness, but nobody came to ask about us. Our women are outside. On the day of the elections, they would knock out doors. But in such a disaster, they totally forgot about us. People fled their houses and made of tents of plastic and cloth their new homes. We haven't seen nobody, no mayor, no civil protection forces and no police. There's no electricity. We're afraid and homeless. The sun rises slowly on Ras Layoun residents for another day of fear and homelessness, awaiting the local authorities to intervene.
In the same context, the General Manager of the National Research Institute of Astronomy and Geophysics, Abdelkarim Yillis, said that the recent tremors that Algeria has witnessed are natural and should not be exaggerated. He further explained in a press conference and gave an explanation to the tremors that hit Batna and Hamam Alwan and the aftershocks that came after.
ممكن الطاقة اللي كانت متراكمة داخل هذه المنطقة ومن بعد يجيو هزات ارتدادية.
What has resulted is that the accumulated energy in that region has came out, which would cause aftershocks. When a tremor gets into a stable level, it causes aftershocks. We've seen that in Hamam Alwan, in Boumerdas and in Bijaya. So what is happening is that we have major tremors and aftershocks.
In another matter now, Road accidents are still taking people's life, and that is due to several factors, including not respecting traffic laws and the unconsciousness of the drivers who risk their lives as they perform risky overtaking. Shakib Louishi reports.
Traffic accidents still taking people's life despite many firm and severe traffic laws and awareness campaigns which have not yielded tangible results to decrease the rate of road accidents. The Civil Protection Squad has registered 7 deaths and 9 injuries in the last 2 days. On Tuesday night, 2 members of the same family died and 4 others were severely injured when their cars collided with a semi-truck in the highway linking the localities of Bin Aknoun and the district of Dar al-Bayda. Another truck crashed into a house, but fortunately there were no casualties. According to the police report, the driver has apparently lost control of the truck, which led to hitting the house. These accidents are just examples of many other ones caused by buses and trucks. On top of that, the relevant authorities have not swiftly acted to hinder and limit the increasing number. According to experts, dangerous and risky overtaking, non-respect of traffic law, and the appalling conditions of the roads are the main causes of the road accidents, along with the human factor. And the only way to fight and hinder this alarming phenomenon is to implement legal procedures.
Moving on to the Middle East now. Reports in Yemen have emerged that President Abd Rabbu Hadi has fled his refuge in Aden after Houthi rebels have advanced on the southern city. Hadi's plea to the international community for military intervention has gone largely unanswered, and now the country seems on the verge of a coup. Meher Mizahi reports.
Just 2 days after pleading with the international community for military intervention to curb Houthi insurgent advance, Yemen's President Abd Rabbu Hadi fled his refuge in Aden. 5 Yemeni officials told the Associated Press that the embattled president left his Aden home on Wednesday for an undisclosed location. The move comes after Houthi rebels captured the El Anad airbase, some 60 kilometers from Aden. The military airport is the country's largest, and U.S. and European military advisors were evacuated last week after Al-Qaeda overran a nearby town. The Iran-backed Houthi insurgents forced Hadi out of the presidential palace in Sana'a last September, forcing an evacuation to Aden. State television, which is controlled by the rebels, also announced a 20 million Yemeni riyal reward for anyone who captured the fugitive president. That amount is equivalent of $93,000. Meanwhile, the Houthi official said its fighters had arrested the country's defense minister Mahmoud al-Subaihi and a senior aide in the southern city of Lesh, where clashes between the rebels and Hadi loyalists continue to flare.
The German, French and Spanish leaders have arrived together in the French Alps to visit the scenes where a German wings plane crashed on Tuesday, killing 150 on board. Angela Merkel, François Hollande and Marine Rajoy were briefed on the rescue and thanked the workers. One of the black boxes recorders has been retrieved at the seat near Digny, whereas Hollande says that the second case of the second black box has been found and not its content. In our sports news, tomorrow evening the Algerian national team will take on Qatar in the first of 2 friendlies this month. The Algerian Football Federation capitalized on that trip to Qatar to renew their contract with Hospital Clinic of Sports Science. Meher Mizahi has more on the Fenix trips to the Gulf.
The Algerian national team effected a final training session Wednesday morning before their friendly match against Qatar on the 26th of March. All 22 players took part in tactical and technical exercises as coach Christian Gourcuff experimented with different permutations. The 59-year-old Breton has called up an unprecedented 7 domestic players for these 2 friendly matches. Several of those players, such as Youssef Belaili, Ibrahim Shnihi, or Azedine Doucha, plan on capitalizing on this precious opportunity.
We are going to try and show our abilities and meet the team's lofty standards. I just hope I'll get an opportunity and that I won't disappoint.
We're going to try and write a new page after the Africa Cup, though we've already worked with one another. We're going to write a new chapter when, God willing, we'll be given the 2017 African Cup. We'll find out on the 8th of April, but until then, we'll prepare with these new players and try to help them integrate. The visit to Qatar has proved profitable on and off the pitch as the Algerian Football Federation has renewed their contract with Hospital for another year. Tomorrow's match will be played at 5 o'clock p.m. and may be watched on LCAST channel or ENTV.
And finally, in our technology news, US South Korean startup Kairos has unveiled a smartwatch that displays notifications and other graphics over its mechanical parts. The new design means that even if the transparent screen's battery runs out, the device will still continue to function as a normal watch. It is, however, more heavy and bulky than typical watches. The starting price is $1,190 for the basic design and can go higher if the user wants more accurate internal Swiss-made mechanical parts. And that was the end of our news brought to you from Dzair News channel. Thank you for watching.